All right, friends, it is time. All right, for us to get started, what I want us to do is I'm going to start with Elise, and then we'll go to Taryn, and then we'll go to Ken. I just want you guys to briefly like introduce yourself, what region you're in, and I don't know, tell me a fun fact about you. Something maybe none of your soil and water districts know, but it's not like a secret to like your friends or family. All right, Elise, go team.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here. My name's Elise McLaughlin, and I'm the regional coordinator for Area 2 in the northwest part of the state in the mountains. And I've been in this job for not quite 2 years, and every day I learn something new about the job. And probably you will too as you go forward. There's just so much to know, and we can never know it all. Um, and fun fact is, I am a figure skater.
Mm, I love that. Thank you,
I didn't
Elise.
know that. That's so cool. I had no idea. Wow, that's
A
really neat.
woman of many talents.
hmm
I have many secrets, Taryn.
I'll keep that in mind. Maybe when we have meetings, I'll just say, Elise has another secret to share for the good of the order. Um, I'm Taryn Thompson, and I'm a regional coordinator, and I'm in the central region. And the person who's the I don't know how to say this, but the person who's the head regional coordinator for the central region is Rick McSwain. So I'm with him in the central region. And then I have area 4, if that means anything to you yet. I have area 4 that I service, and then I'm sharing area 7 with Ken. And Ken is also on this call, or we split the area half and half. Um, I've only been doing this job for approximately 6 or 7 months. I really enjoy it. I love meeting new people, building and maintaining relationships, and I love feeling helpful. So anytime you have a question, I that's when I thrive. Even if I don't, well, especially when I don't know the answer, because then I can go around and meet new people too and connect you. Something that's a secret. I mean, something about me that's fun. Well, this isn't as fun as Elise's, but I have a dog. Her name is Sasha, and she is a hound, multiple hound mixes, and I love her.
I love that Sasha is precious.
Mm, thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love
I want to
that.
say that Taryn is very, very fun.
Mm-hmm. And she loves soils.
That should have been my
And she's
fact.
funny.
I love wetlands. I studied wetland soils or hydric soils before this job. That should have been my fun fact. Yep.
She both Elise helps with RCW and Taryn also, and it was like every couple of days Taryn was like, I love soils. It just is like my favorite thing about Taryn. It's so cute. All right, Ken, would you like to say hello and sort of tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Let me see. Is my is my thing? Let's see if it's working.
Your camera? Your camera is not on. Oh, sup. There you are.
Sorry for my background. I'm in the truck. I got to go meet Brian in a little bit here to take down the fair booth. So anyway, but I'm Ken. So I'm the Area 6 coordinator. So for the first 18 years of my career with the division, I was with the cost share programs. I was like a cost share specialist. I had about 33 counties that I covered. Um, so that was very enjoyable, but then I decided to switch it up. So I became a coordinator about 3 years ago, I guess. So anyway, yeah. So um so I've been enjoying every bit of it. Got a great team to work with. So yeah, in my free time, I like to travel locally around the state, go to state parks, and yeah, just I do like to go to ball games, just about of any type, mostly college football games. I haven't been to an NFL game yet, but I do want to go see the Panthers since they are winning now.
It's much more fun to be a fan when your team is doing decent. So
Most yes. So
awesome. Thank you for that, Ken. So good. All right, friends. I gave you a couple of minutes. Do you guys have any questions for the coordinators? You can put them in the chat. You can come off mute. You can raise your hand. Whatever flavor you prefer. Oh. All right. So Shannon says, is there a way to see what JAAs our regional coordinator has? I know that there is a little database where you can check for JAAs, but I don't see any of the regional coordinators on there. I'm gonna say, I mean, do you guys want to answer this one, or I mean, JAA is also in my wheelhouse, so I'm gonna give it to you guys first and check your temperature.
I'm happy for you to answer that on my behalf, Elise and Ken.
Yeah, Rick McSwain is the only coordinator that has JAA, unless I'm missing something, Ken. But because Rick spent almost 30 years in the Lincoln district, and so that's where he accumulated all that JAA. And occasionally Rick will do for areas 3 or 8, he'll do some technical training with them, but the rest of us don't have JAA. And a big part of what Brandy does with the training program is provide the training that district staff need to be able to get JAA.
Correct. Great questions, Shannon. Thanks for kicking that off. Be thinking of your other questions. Shannon says, okay, that makes sense. So I guess I'm just lucky to have him as my regional coordinator to help out. Yes, that is definitely an asset, I think. So that kind of segues us into a good question. What do regional coordinators do? So you guys are welcome to answer that however you'd like, or I can call on you if you raise your hands, but you just let me know.
I'm giving a very short and sweet answer. We are well, actually, this is what Elise mentioned before. We are liaisons between yourselves and the division, but that makes it sound not fun. The fun part is that we get to build relationships with you and help connect you with other people while also maintaining the division to district relationship.
Love that. Elise?
There are many aspects of our jobs as coordinators. We are big cheerleaders of our districts. So when we attend board meetings, we like to support the work that district staff are doing, whether it's education or technical outreach. And we, in terms of your question earlier, Shannon, about JAA, we help facilitate district staff getting the kind of training that they need. And we can help grease the wheels especially when you're new and you haven't met a lot of people in neighboring districts. Even though you don't have JA yourself, we can help you grease the wheels to get assistance from neighboring district staff who do have that. We have a lot of other side projects that we work on around the state. So it is a very fun job, and it's all about support of districts.
Amazing. I love that. And I love that, like, kind of like how Rick helps more on the JAA side. The regional coordinators have a little wiggle room to kind of make it make how they show up for their counties each a little bit different. And they each kind of have unique things that they bring to the regional coordinator team and to our like districts in North Carolina. So I always think that that's really fascinating. Do we have any, you guys just continue, throw questions in the chat. Oh, perfect. Shannon, I guess that is coming up a lot more recently with NRCS being out and not being able to help with JAA stuff. Normally, yes. So NRCS typically, those individuals, since they are more technical, they might have more JAA at their disposal. So yes, we do anticipate that the state will need to kind of step up more during a shutdown. And luckily we do have our own state JAA situation where you can actually get JAA through the North Carolina Commission and not just through NRCS. That's a conversation for another day. I'm happy to answer any questions about that. But basically we can kind of keep things flowing and going in the midst of a government federal shutdown. So that is something nice. What is your favorite thing about being a coordinator?
I can tell you I like being a coordinator because I'm not stuck in an office staring at a computer screen all the time. So we do have a little, well, I always say we've got probably one of the best jobs in the division, just because we are on the road a lot, but we're out visiting and working with our districts in our areas. And it's just fun to be around people. This is definitely a people position. So, just being able to share relationships with other district staff and board supervisors is pretty cool. Um, like I like to tell people, there's never a dull moment. It's always ever changing um, part of what we do. Because I mean, just like y'all are new staff coming in, we get new supervisors. Some things with our programs, like our cost share programs, they're always being updated and changes with policies. So it's quite a lot to keep up with. And like Taryn and Elise mentioned, as coordinators, we're that go between person between the division and district. So they rely on us to transmit information back and forth. So we're there to help support the districts and boards, but we also take things back to the division so that we can improve things on the division level to better support districts and everything. So, but yeah, it's a fun job. It gets kind of crazy at times because we do have crazy schedules. But that's part of the job. It helps us get more organized. Some are better at it than others, I guess. I'm definitely not the best at it, but it's fun.
And you're great at it. You are definitely underselling your services.
Well, thank you.
You keep us on our toes. I love that about you.
Thank you.
Elise or Taryn, did you want to add it? What's your favorite thing about being a coordinator?
One of the things that I love is that we get to appreciate every district on its own merit. So we work in your district, right? We show up at board meetings and we support events that you're doing, but we're also doing that for every other district that in our areas. And so we get to get a taste, the flavor of every district. And all districts are different. And one of the things that I enjoy doing is thinking about what value can I bring to each district? And so, what kinds of training might districts need, not just staff, but supervisors as well to do their job well and to keep them protected from any legal liability? How do we ensure that public dollars are spent in the best way? And so working with districts individually is really a lot of fun, and getting to know all of the different people. The other thing that I like to tell new staff in districts is that you're now part of a larger network. You didn't know this when you took the job, but it's a little bit like the mafia, and now you can't leave. And but the benefit of that is that you can break down in any county in the state, and some soil and water person will help you.
That's true.
I love that. It's the fun mafia, the fun, helpful, healthy mafia. I think that there are so many things I love about this job. I love local politics. I love that we are non-affiliated to parties, and I love how that facilitates us all working together to achieve a common goal. Even though there are still local politics, and by local politics, I simply mean how we have how there are open meetings and how those are operated so that everyone's voice is heard. That's what I mean by local politics. Love that. Love open meeting structure. Love working together and collaborating. I love the giant network that we're a part of that Elise mentioned, because there are so many people to work with and who have all different skill sets. So we're all helping each other. There were two other things that I was going to say that I love about this. Oh, I love field days. I love learning about new best management practices, especially as they're regionally different from the coast to the mountains, depending on the district and depending on what landowners in each region need or want. I love that every day is different. I also love not staring at a computer screen all day, as Ken said. Yeah, there's so much to love about this job.
I love that. You guys are making me miss being a regional coordinator. I like show up to their meetings still, so don't, I like hijack and like, I'm gonna hang out with you guys in this meeting. All right, let's keep going into it. And again, put those questions in the chat, my friend, or just be like, Brandy, I got something. Let's see. Is there one event that you would recommend that new employees don't miss? And you can answer this however you want. I know you guys know that there are different like designations for district staff employees, but regardless, I would love for you to tell me about, one or two of some of your favorite training events you think new employees must consider.
Fundies. Yes.
AKA
Brandy,
the fundamentals of conservation planning, but
lovingly known as Fundies. And Brandy does such an amazing job. It is technical training, as was mentioned earlier, but it really helps provide a foundation for everything that you're going to do in your job. And it is definitely relevant for education and admin people too. It's 5 days or 4.5 days, and at either the Mountain Research Station in Waynesville in the mountain region, and then alternating years it's at Mount Olive University. And it goes through the NRCS conservation planning process, and it's very comprehensive. And of course, it still only scratches the surface, but as you're beginning your job, I can't say enough good about it. The quality of the people that put this training on, and interestingly, they are mostly district staff. some NRCS people, but mostly district staff that began as you are now, and over the years have developed skills that they can now help use to help train new district staff. So I can't say enough about fundies.
I love that. It's like I paid her to say that. Taryn, did you have a favorite training thus far that you've liked that you want to share?
Yes, I knew that Elise would say fundamentals of conservation because that is the greatest training you can go to. So I was going to pivot and say CET, conservation employee training, because being new, I haven't been to an annual meeting yet, but also those are for supervisors. The conservation employee training has so much packed into technically 2 full days, but also 4 days by the time you arrive and depart. It's very, there's a lot of networking, which is super fun. And there's a lot of training that you can benefit from. And it's always in a really, well, I say always, it's in a fun place. This year it was. And next year it will also, I think, be in a fun place, Cherokee, at the casino, which is just a lovely, the casino is not my favorite part. My favorite part is Cherokee. The mountains are gorgeous there. Yeah, and it just feels very homey there to me personally.
Mhm. I love that. Thank you, Taryn. Ken, did you want to add any specific trainings that you liked?
Well, I mean, the fundies and CET are really, I think, a must attend as a new employee. Um, One of the trainings I did attend when I was in the district was the basic of supervisors training, or the basic training for supervisors. So, I mean, even though, I wasn't a supervisor at the time, I wanted to learn more about what my board of supervisors actually does and what their roles and responsibilities were as a district staff person. So it was pretty enlightening. When I went, of course, they had it at UNC at the School of Government. So I was actually took it there. That's kind of the main place they had it for years, and then till the association with Brian tried to make it regional and do it at other events. So, but yeah, so it was cool. I mean, and so if you get a chance to go to it, it's good to have staff there. If you know, kind of let you know as a new employee what your board is there for, and help build the relationship between you and your board of supervisors. So yeah.
I love that, Ken. That's also one of my favorite ones. And I'm so jealous that you went to the OG version of that training at the School of Government when like Richard was probably involved.
Yeah.
I basically fangirl. I think Richard is so smart, and I'm like, tell me everything you know, Richard.
Yeah, and if you can ever find a copy of the book by Donald, or excuse me, Mr. Heath, the one that they use for all the years, that's a good read. Milton Heath. I think there might be some copies floating around the office, but yeah.
We'll find you one. If you're interested in a copy, I'm sure we can figure something out. Let your regional coordinator know, or send me. I'm sure we can find you a copy to borrow or have or something. I
That's
also like
good.
that book.
Randy,
Uh,
I would like to also say that basic training for supervisors is definitely not just for supervisors. And all supervisors have to take it, but it really provides a context for all the work that we do in soil and water. And
Mhm.
so if we always make it available at the annual meeting, but then there will be some additional trainings regionally in January and February. But that's pretty much it for basic training. So you got to catch it early in the year. And if you can do it, I would definitely go to it.
Agreed. I love that. We did have an incredible question in the chat from Shannon. Do you guys attend all of the Soil and Water Commission meetings? If so, what kind of things do you learn, and how do you pass that information along to your districts? This is a great question. Love the way you're thinking. Who would like to go first?
Yes, we do go to all the commission meetings. And during those meetings, the way I kind of approach it is thinking about what is the information that I need to take back to my districts. Are there new cost share allocations being passed, or are there new policies that are being approved? What are the things that my districts would be interested to know about the actions taken at that? Or what kinds of conversations have come up during the meeting? It is a public meeting, so sometimes you can have members of the public show up and say something. So is that of interest to people? Would I want to share that? So that's the way I think about the commission meetings.
Ken or Taryn, did you all want to add anything?
Yes. I think Elise already said it, to make it very clear. I just wanted to say it again that personally, I highly recommend attending them so you can also see how the commission works together. And it's an open meeting, so obviously you're welcome and encouraged. I think that it's really, really, I can't emphasize this enough. We go to them and it's nice to be in a front row seat, literally, to hear what the commission's discussing and what action items they're taking, voting on. But more than that, there's the public comments section at every meeting. And if you don't during the public comment section or otherwise, please let the commission know what you like or don't like, or trouble you're having, or there's confusion in a cost share policy and that's difficult for you or for your district. If you don't let them know, they can't know. And we're doing our jobs as liaisons between division and district. However, it would mean a lot more coming from you all as district staff, for the commission to hear it from you, because you're the ones actually doing the work. You are going outside. You are staying in the office to fill out the contract and form. You are outreaching for education purposes and for landowner purposes. So let them know what you're thinking and how you're feeling and what troubles you may or may not be having, because that they can't know unless you tell them.
I love that. I love that because the commission is, you know, we do have to advocate on our behalf, and the commission being a legislative body that helps generate funds and things like that. I think it is important to like kind of break down that wall between, oh my gosh, they're here and we're here. Like, let's kind of bridge those two. And even just like if you see them out and you get to know them at an annual meeting, trying to make it seem a little less daunting will also help if you ever need to go before the commission to not feel so nervous about that, because they're just people, just like we're all people. I know it seems anxiety driven sometimes, but we're all getting through it together. Ken, did you want to add anything about the commission?
Yeah, I was just going to add that it does look good. As more district staff can attend these commission meetings, either in person or virtually. It is a way to get information, to see what the commission has been working on, and they give you some insights on things that might be coming up in the future. One of the things that I like that they've been doing more in recent years is they have some of these commission meetings on location, and wherever they decide to go, they'll usually provide tours. And we've seen district staff as well as district supervisors attend these tours. It could be like food processing facilities, other farms where they're doing new innovative technologies. I think that's really cool. Um, and so, yeah, so please take advantage of going to the commission meetings if you can. And a lot of the information, I don't know if this is mentioned yet, but the coordinators do send out a monthly coordinators newsletter. And a lot of the information in that newsletter, we do have a piece in there that does talk about the commission meetings and some of the policies or things that they have approved, or maybe upcoming. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Ken. Good information. We do have another question on this same topic. Are the meetings recorded? And also, if they are, could we also watch them?
Yes, they are recorded to the best of my knowledge. I think they still record those, and I think they used to, I'm not sure if they post them on the website or not. I thought at one time they were posting them on the website, like a link.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you guys know if they post them on the website somewhere currently?
I think so.
Okay.
We
Tanisha
don't,
works
I
really.
don't,
Go ahead, Elise. Tanisha works really hard on making sure that the meeting is recorded appropriately and that you can hear that the audio comes through well. So that makes me think that she is posting it somewhere for people to view. Otherwise, making sure the audio comes through well wouldn't necessarily be a high priority for her, but I don't know where. So maybe that wasn't very helpful.
Yeah, I also am not sure where that would be posted, but I do also, like they've said, it is recorded. So worst case scenario, if you can't find it, we should have access, your coordinator should have access to a link, and we can figure that out if it is not publicly posted. So just reach out to your regional coordinator if you would like access to the recording. Shannon says, I see where we can join virtual meetings, but I have not been able to find the recordings. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I will we'll bring that up and note that there's some interest in the recordings. I know that the recordings they're pretty long meetings sometimes, so I wonder if that's why they're not posted. But I think our IT has also changed some of the parameters on how we share videos that are recorded in Teams. So I think now actually those videos are more accessible than they were, say, like a year ago. There was a few more there were some lockdowns on some of those URLs for Teams recorded videos, like you had to upload it to YouTube. I don't think that's the case currently. So I'm sure we can figure something out for y'all. All right, do y'all have some other questions? We do have time for a couple of more, and then we are gonna take a break. So is there any other questions? If not, I can answer or ask one on my prompt. Okay, let me see. Do you guys have any advice for new employees looking to build their soil and water network? Anybody?
Depending on uh depending on how enthusiastic, encouraging, and excited your board of supervisors is about you attending trainings, I find that to be the most helpful because trainings are regional. However, sometimes people outside of that region travel to the training. So, and by trainings, I mean like a Brandy's training website has all of the trainings listed by each month. So well, I guess October is almost over, but there were at least 5 trainings in the month of October. So I guess if you average that out, there's a lot of trainings per month. And I would recommend that that's a great way to meet new people, especially because the trainings you're going to, whether it's admin, education, or technical, other people like-minded would be there, whether they are admin, education, or technical. And they could be close to your district, like a bordering county, or they could be farther away. Either way, that's still helpful to pick up the phone or have a Teams meeting and talk about a topic or a question. I think that would be a good way to start.
Yeah, I love that. Elise or Ken, did you guys want to add anything to that?
regional coordinators can also help grease the wheels for you when you are looking for some assistance from somebody about maybe a best management practice or an educational program. And we can help connect you with your neighboring districts, especially within your area, but even otherwise. Sometimes, I hear of somebody doing something interesting and somebody else having a need, and I can help facilitate their introductions and get a relationship started. So feel free to reach out to your regional coordinator if you need, assistance with a particular area.
I love that. The regional coordinators are great for that. Ken?
Yeah, I was just gonna add to what Elise was saying. Yeah, get comfortable with knowing who your neighboring districts are. Um, you may find that some of your neighboring districts will have new employees, but you also may find that there may be one or two that are pretty seasoned and have quite a few years of experience that you might could reach out to when questions come up, and you might could get a little assistance from them. And another thing, yeah, don't forget the division folks. Yeah, reach out to your area coordinator, but also get to know the division staff, because a lot of the staff are, um, kind of experts in their own little field. Michael Shepard, he deals a lot with waste management type stuff. Josh Vetter, with the job approval authority. Brandy, of course, with the training. And you got John Beck, the ag cost share manager. So get to know all these different folks. So when a question comes up, you're like, oh, that's the go-to person I need for that question or whatever. So, you kind of build your network of your who to go to people, I call it. So, um, but yeah, we got a bunch of resources for you. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask us for help.
Yeah, I love that. You bring up some really good points about that and division folks. I think you can also be like, "Hey, can you introduce me to some folks that are also working on nutrient management projects if you like see them around CET or something." So, they're always willing, I think, to lend a hand and help out. Also, I would just say like there's always stuff going on in our partnership, whether it be like needing volunteers for Envirothon or needing signups for the state fair or just area meetings. Like there are always things to like be involved in. If you can, some of these things require just time from you where you can just volunteer and show up and get to know a bunch of people, whether they're time supervisors from different boards that you could ask questions to, show up for things like Envirothon to help volunteer. So anytime I think you can just be around and show up for the things, in your areas, I think it is a great way to just bridge those connections, make new connections, and foster the ones you already have. So. Well, coordinators, thank you so much. Did you guys have any parting words? We're wrapping up, I think, the tail end of this. If you have anything you wanted to share with the group before we go into our outreach segment, I'd be happy to turn it over and turn it over to you. Looks like Taryn unmiked. She is feeling something.
Yeah, could you read? I think it's the last question that you sent
Yeah.
us just as like a here's what we're looking for. Could you read that last question? It's something about like words of wisdom for new employees or something like that.
That. I put that. Oh my gosh. I'm with it
Sorry.
sometimes, y'all. Okay. I think the last one is, are there any resources or partnership that you believe are underutilized by district staff? Was
I'm
that the one you were
sorry.
thinking of?
No. Let me see if I can find it too. I'm sorry I put you on the spot
I
there.
think the question was, what is the one most important piece of advice you could give to new employees
Thank
as a
you.
core?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I didn't save the most updated question list. So, okay, great. No, that's a great. What is a piece of advice you would give to new employees, Taryn?
That just felt like a great ending or a great
It did.
summary.
I love that.
Oh, I would say don't be afraid to ask questions, like of each other in your office, of each other at trainings, of the division staff, of literally anyone, of neighboring districts. Just don't be afraid to ask for help or ask questions because we're all literally, it's a partnership. So we're all in this together. And I'm still learning a lot, like a lot, a lot. It takes 3 years, they say, to understand what you're doing and how you're doing it really well. So we're all learning.
I love that. Ken?
Yeah. Yeah, I would just add kind of along with that, just as a new employee, kind of pace yourself. Um, we live in a busy, crazy world, and things can seem like a lot, and just don't try to get overwhelmed. That's the saying, Rome won't build in a day. So, just take it all in. Each week, each month, get to know people. You'll build those technical skills or admin skills as you go along. But just pace yourself and always feel free to reach out to others. It does take a while, and even when you pass that 3-year threshold, you know, there's always something to learn on a daily basis just about it. So, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it interesting. So, but yeah.
I love that. Yeah, because it is hard. There's always something, there's a lot. And so I appreciate those words of wisdom that you can only really do one thing at a time and it will come. So just rely on the folks around you and we're all gonna do it together. I love that advice, Ken. Elise, did you have any final thoughts or words you wanted to share for new employees?
I'll just back up what both of them have just said. And it is the culture in soil and water that we share information. So it's expected that you're going to reach out to your neighbors and ask for help when you need it. Maybe you can job shadow somebody, just go out in the field and see what they're doing, how they're approaching a heavy use area or any other practice that they do, or even just watching them and seeing how they provide technical assistance to people or how they run a public outreach session. Um, the other thing I would say is someday it'll be your turn to help out, and maybe sooner than you think, that somebody might need your help in a neighboring district for something. And so keep that in mind. And I'm sure it's going to be a very fulfilling and enriching job for you.
I love that. All right. Well, if you guys have a react button, any round of applause, digital round of applause for our coordinators. I am so excited they were able to jump on today. They are so much fun for me personally to work with, not only because I got to be a regional coordinator for a little while, but they are such a kind, welcoming sense of peace and calmness for me personally that I love working with them every chance I get. Like I try to find instances where I get to work with them. So please note that they are there and their intentions are so pure. So do not hesitate to reach out. And we are really excited about hopefully filling our last team member spot out in the West, hopefully very soon. So that'll be exciting and new for the coordinator team to have one additional friend in the group. So thank you guys for volunteering your time. You guys are fantastic. And we are actually going to take about a 5-minute break. So we're going to reconvene around 11:33. So please stretch your legs. It's a lot to be in front of the computer screen for that, the 40-minute segment. So stretch your legs. We're going to talk a little bit about outreach and an introduction to what outreach is and what outreach isn't. And you get me for 40 minutes, but I do have interactive stuff. So I promise it'll be fun. So I hope you guys are able to stick around. And I will see you guys around 11:33. Coordinators, you're welcome to hang out, but you're also welcome to if you have somewhere you need to be, I understand. So I'll see
Thanks
you
for
guys in a
having
little bit.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
Yeah,
You guys
thanks,
are awesome.
Brandy.
Mm.